Hi guys, this is Vaish from Vaishya Yes, and we are going to continue the Satish Chandra series. So today again we'll continue with Akbar, for which two parts are already done. Before that, I want to tell you something like the textbook which I am following of Satish Chandra is a very old version. Okay, so it is actually in two parts, where the first part is from I think the 8th century to the 14th century or something, and then from the 15th century it will start in the second textbook. So I am directly starting in the second textbook. Okay, because it's more important for history optional students as well. This because people who are writing the 2018 mains now, they will need it faster. That is why I started this way. But don't worry about other parts. Once we complete this 15th to 17th century or something, that is the Mughal history and the end of Mughal Empire, we'll again start from the other part also. Okay, because I think students have the newer version where everything is in one textbook. Okay, so that is okay, it will be covered. Okay, don't worry. So that was one query which I got from at least 2 to 3 students in the last 1 week. So that will be done after we complete this set of chapters. Okay, which the older ones will have the South kingdoms also, the Chola kingdom and all, which is there in the 10th century, 11th century and all. Okay, so that will be done. So that is about that. Now we'll focus on today's video, that is Akbar versus Rajput. Okay, so mainly three things are there. One is the matrimonial policies. Okay, you see this Jodha, Akbar and all those things. Not like specific to any queen or something. It's like a story of how the matrimonial alliance were there. Then the war between Akbar and Maharana Pratap. Okay, the Battle of Haldi Ghati, and then the general policy of Mughals to Rajput. That is the three things which we are going to discuss here, and it's more of political history. So it will be like a story. I will read it fast and then tell you the gist of each thing. Like in between I'll take a pause and I'll tell you the gist of what I'm reading. Okay, so we'll focus on the thing from the actual PDF as we usually do. Okay, so last time we did it till here. Now we'll continue with this thing, relation with the Rajputs. So Akbar relation with the Rajputs have to be seen against the wider background of Mughal policy towards the powerful Rajas and Zamindars of the country. Okay, it's not like directly Rajput, but other Zamindars and Rajas were also involved in this matrimonial things. So when Humayun came back to India, he embarked upon a deliberate policy of trying to win over these elements. Okay, so he deliberately started this, Humayun, okay, within the Mughal. Now, Abul Fazl, okay, the one historian, okay, Navratna of Akbar, he wrote like to suit the minds of the Zamindars, he entered into matrimonial alliance with them. Okay, this he means the Humayun. Okay, Humayun entered into matrimonial relations with them. Thus, when Jamal Khan Mewati, okay, is one of the Zamindar, okay, submitted to Humayun, he married one of the beautiful daughters himself and married the younger sister to Behram Khan. So you don't have to remember who married whom and not. You just need to know like Humayun is the one who started it, and then in course of time Akbar expanded this. Okay, that is the gist of this first paragraph. Now Baramal. So this person will come in the next 2-3 pages. Okay, Baramal is actually the ruler of Amber. Okay, had come to Akbar's court at Agra immediately after his accession. Immediately means like young. Okay, Akbar was very young, so he made a favorable impression on the young king for when people were running a helter skelter from a maddened elephant. Okay, so some chaos was going on, and so Raja Baramal will come, okay, here to Akbar's court. Now he will take homage under Akbar, and then again one matrimonial alliance is there, this Harka Bai to Akbar. Okay, so the same thing is like again twisted again, like Jodha Bai, this thing and all. There are many queens and all those things that you don't have to worry who is who. But like this something happened. This Raja of this person, okay, Baramal, he came here and then took homage under Akbar. Now this marriages concept, right, this marriages concept between Muslims and Hindus is not something which Humayun actually started. Okay, it was happening in 14th and 15th century, and it is like two examples are given. This Maldio ruler, Maldio is the person, okay, Maldio, the powerful ruler of Jodhpur, married to some Gujarat ruler, this daughter married to Gujarat ruler, and Lalbai to the Sur ruler. So something like this was happening, but within Mughal it was Humayun who started. Okay, so that you should understand, because prelims question can come whether this started by Mughals or whether it was started by Akbar in specific. So you should know this was there already, and within Mughals Humayun started and Akbar expanded it. Now most of these marriages had not led to the establishment of many stable personal relationships between the concerned family. So it was not like it made stable relationship. And then this fate of the girl, okay, the girl was like, it was like lost within their family's politics. So they did not have this woman empowerment kind of line, if you have to include. There is nothing for the women. Okay, they are like, they have to follow whatever the king policies are. Now the Akbar followed a different policy, so that is where we are focusing on this chapter now. Akbar followed a different policy. He gave complete religious freedom to his Hindu wives and gave an honored place to their parents and relations in the nobility. So that in the movie also you can see Jodha is allowed to have a temple within the premises, is allowed to do Hindu prayers and all those things within the Mughal premises, okay, which is a totally Muslim kingdom. Okay, that is one thing. Now again this Bharamal was made a high grandee. His son Bhagwan Das rose to the rank of 5,000 and his grandson Mansingh to the rank of 7,000. So these are very important people. Okay, this Bharamal, Bhagwan Das, Mansingh, father, son, grandson. These three people were given great positions in Mughal Empire and was rose to this very huge rank of Mansabdari also. Okay, and you should know the 7,000 is one of the highest ranks. So this rank was accorded by Akbar to only one other noble, that is Aziz Khan Kuka, his foster brother. So that much important was Man Singh in the empire of Mughal. Okay, that is the gist of this. Now Akbar emphasized his special relationship with Kachwala ruler in other ways as well. The infant prince, again, I don't think this is important. Okay, here a lot of this wives, marriage, and some other ruler kingdom. Whole story is like this matrimonial alliance was again going on, and this Baramal was given importance. He was placed in different places, and so it continued. So Akbar's policy continued. Okay. So this is, I'm skipping it, okay, because again, see different places, Garkatanga, again different place, again Mansabdari, again matrimonial. Same story for different places they are telling. That's all. Now, Akbar's Rajput policy was combined with the policy of broad religious toleration. So that is one difference in Akbar's policy. And in 1564, he abolished the jizya. Jizya, you know, it is the tax which is imposed on non-Muslims. Okay. Also, he had abolished the pilgrim tax. In the movie, also it is shown this Tirth Yatra, some tax was there. That was like abolished by Akbar. Okay. So it happened in 1564. And this forcible conversion, everything was done away with. So overall, he was religiously tolerant. Now it is like the Rajput places. Like following the conquest of Chittor, most of the leading Rajput rulers had accepted Akbar's suzerainty and paid personal homage to him. The rulers of Jaisalmer and Bikaner had also entered into matrimonial relationship with Akbar. The only state which had stubbornly refused to accept Mughal suzerainty was Mewar. Okay, so Mewar was one place which did not agree. Remaining everybody agreed. So Mewar is where Rana Pratap also will come. Now, although Chittor and the plain area around it had come around Mughal domination, Udaipur and the hilly area, which formed the larger part of Mewar, had remained under the control of the Rana. Okay, so that is why that place alone was not under Mughals. In 1572, Rana Pratap succeeded Rana Uday Singh to the Gaddi. A series of embassies were sent by Akbar to Maharana Pratap. So many people Akbar will send. Okay, here you will see Man Singh was sent, then Todarmal will be sent. Okay, this full story is that thing only. Okay. Here if you see, and one version is there, like in movies and all, they show like Man Singh who went to this Rana Pratap court was insulted and sent back. Okay, but here they are telling it is not a historical fact. Okay, it's written here, it's not a historical fact, because Rana Pratap was a kind of a courteous manner, he behaved with everyone. Okay, so he will not insult anyone who comes to the court. So that is what is told here. Now see, Man Singh, Bhagwan Das, Raja Todarmal, these are three people who came in three different times as embassies, okay, from Akbar's court, but it was not agreed. Here it is mentioned like at one time it seems that the Rana was prepared for a compromise. Okay, compromise. He put on the imperial robe sent by Akbar and sent his son. So what happened is Rana Pratap kind of agreed, and then instead of going directly, he sent his son, okay, Amar Singh. Amar Singh was sent to the court with Bhagwan Das to do homage to Akbar, but Akbar was not happy with that. Okay, he wanted Rana to come directly. Okay, so that is why final agreement was not reached. No final agreement could be reached, as the proud Rana was not prepared to accept Akbar's demand for tendering personal homage. Okay, so he did not personally go there. Now, also it seems that the Mughals wanted to keep hold of Chittor, which was not acceptable to the Rana. Okay, so there were problems, and that is why Rana and Akbar will be having the war. Okay, later. In 1576, okay, Akbar moved to Ajmer and deputed Raja Man Singh with a force of 5,000 to lead a campaign against the Rana. In anticipation of this move, the Rana had devastated the entire territory up to Chittor so that the Mughal forces might get no food and fodder. Okay, so this thing is like later in the Russian Revolution and all, we will see these kind of policies. Okay, this scorched earth policy which they call in World War and all, they have used it, where when enemy is about to enter our territory, what we will do is we will simply evacuate the whole city. Okay, the path to the city. They will evacuate everything. They will poison the wells. They will burn all the buildings. They will empty all the granaries. Everything they will do so that when an army enters there, and they will obviously need 2-3 days, okay, to come to the actual city. So those days they will have to return back because they have no food and water, nothing is there, and they will be like forced to return back. Okay, the army will be having to be forced. So that is the policy which right from those days, okay, Maharana Pratap has followed. Okay, that is what is being told here. So he had also fortified all the passes in the hills. A furious battle between the two sides were waged at Haldighati. So this is the battle of Haldighati, 1576, very important for prelims. Okay, a narrow defile leading to Kumbhalgarh, which was then the Rana's capital. Okay, so Rana's capital is this place. Now, apart from selected Rajput forces, the Rana's van was led by Hakim Khan Sur with his Afghan contingent. Okay, so it's like in Rana side also, this Muslim people were there. Okay, thus the battle of Haldighati was not a struggle between the Hindus and Muslims. Okay, so because this is what now, you know, these people around now in this country are simply framing everything like Hindu and Muslims. Okay, whether it comes to Shivaji's story or whether it comes to Maharana Pratap's story, everywhere they are like defaming Muslim or the Mughal kingdoms, and then what is it? praising Hindu rulers. So that is not the actual story. These people are actually they are shouting because of their illiteracy, nothing else. Okay, so that happens. It will continue to happen also. That is the fate of this country as of now. So, but you should know, at least you being knowing the story, you being literate enough to understand the things which happened. You should know like it was not a Hindu-Muslim battle. Okay, because on either side there were Hindus as well as Muslims supporting the ruler. Okay. Now, a small force of the Bills, okay, Bill tribe and all you will learn later. So, also in spectrum I have taught you, okay, so the small force of the Bills, whom the Rana had befriended, was also present, okay. So, it's like Muslims are there, tribes are there, everybody are supporting. Now, the Rana's forces are put at 3,000. The onslaught by the Rajputs and the Afghans threw the Mughal force into disarray. But the rumors that Akbar had arrived in person rallied them. With fresh Mughal reinforcement, the tide of battle began to turn against the Rajputs. So initially, these people were fighting some victory, and also they one problem happened is they thought like Akbar has personally come to the war. So that became like, so some people turned away, and then that way it was turning against the Rajputs. Okay, so finally what happens is Rana will escape. Okay, Rana will escape, and then Mughals forces were too tired to pursue him, but after some time they advanced through the pass and occupied Gogunda, a strong point which have been evacuated by the Rana earlier. So like this, places are getting occupied, but Rana personally escaped. Okay, this was the last time Rana engaged in a pitched battle with Mughals. Henceforth, he resorted to methods of guerrilla warfare. So that's what happened. He went away and no one could find him. But he, in time and again, he will come and attack these people through guerrilla warfare. Okay, but the full-fledged war he could not fight. So this is the last battle which he fought. And also in history books, some books you can tell like this is one of the shortest battle in history. Okay, I think only 3 hours or 4 hours this battle was fought. Okay, around I think June 20 something, June 21 or something. Okay, in 1576. Okay, I read it in a different textbook. Just telling you. Okay. Now, the defeat at Haldighati did not weaken Rana Pratap's resolve to fight on for independence. However, the cause for which he stood had already been lost. So it's like morally he was not defeated. Okay, he was still wanting to fight, but whatever he wanted to protect was like lost. Okay, the places, everything was lost. Most of the Rajput states had accepted Mughal suzerainty, but by his policy of inducting the Rajput Rajas into Mughal service and treating them on par with the Mughal grandees, according broad religious toleration to his subjects and his courteous behavior to his former opponents, Akbar succeeded. Okay, so all these 4-5 points you can tell what all Mughals Akbar did for maintaining peace. Okay, giving high position to them, religious toleration, then courteous behavior to opponents. So all these things are good points you can write for your answer also. Okay, so that is how Akbar succeeded in cementing his alliance with the Rajput rulers. Okay, it's a very important section. Please make notes of these things. Therefore, Rana Pratap's refusal to bow before the Mughals had little effect on most of the other Rajput states, which realized that in the existing situation, it was impossible for small states to stand out for long in favor of complete independence. So the other rulers were not like too adamant like Rana Pratap. Okay, the others were agreeing like, okay, this situation is better. Okay, anyway we cannot find for complete independence, so let's pay homage to Akbar and then we will continue ruling. Okay, that is what they believed. Now, moreover, by allowing a large measure of autonomy to Rajput Rajas, Akbar established an empire with those Rajput Rajas which those Rajput Rajas did not consider harmful to their best interests. Same thing again. Okay, because they were given high positions, they were okay with this thing. Akbar's policy. Okay, I mean, giving homage to Akbar. Now, Rana Pratap's defiance of the mighty Mughal empire, almost alone and unaided by other Rajput states, constitutes a glorious saga of Rajput valor and the spirit of sacrifice for cherished principles. Rana Pratap was also experimented successfully with the methods of guerrilla warfare, which were later to be elaborated further by Malik Ambar, the Deccani general, and by Shivaji. So if you see, later 16th century and all, Shivaji will come, Deccan ruler, this Malik Ambar will come. So this Rana Pratap is the one who started this guerrilla warfare kind of thing and was kind of successful also. Okay, so that is why the story of Rana Pratap is like now made into movie, TV serials and all. Like if you know, there are many rulers, there are many Ranas, there are many Rajput rulers, but only few are glorified. So this is the reason. Okay, so you should know that this is the whole story of Rana Pratap. Okay, now it is not necessary to discuss in detail the struggle between Akbar and Rana Pratap. For some time, Akbar exerted relentless pressure on the Rana. The Mughals overran the states of some places. Okay, Dungarpur, Banaswara, Sirohi, etc., which were dependent allies of Mewar, and had supported Rana Pratap. Akbar concluded separate treaties with these states, thus further isolating Mewar. So what Akbar did is he went and captured all those places, okay, treaties with all the other places which Rana Pratap can go and contact to raise an army. So Rana Pratap was isolated. He could not, even if he wanted to come back, there was no kingdom or no state which could offer him any army. Okay, the Rana was hunted from forest to forest and from valley to valley. Both Kumbhalgarh and Udaipur were occupied by the Mughals. The Rana underwent great hardships, but thanks to the support of the Bill chiefs, okay, the only tribal chiefs were ones who were helping him, he could continue his defiance. The Mughal pressure relaxed after 1579 due to a serious revolt in Bihar and Bengal in protest against some reforms effected by Akbar. Okay, so that time eastern side, okay, because you know this Bill chiefs, all these people are on the west, but in eastern side something happened in 1579, so Akbar had to focus there. So Akbar's half brother Mirza Hakim made an intrusion into the Punjab in order to fish in troubled waters. Thus Akbar had to face a most serious internal crisis. In 1585, Akbar moved to Lahore to watch the situation in the northwest, which had become dangerous. He remained there for the next 12 years. No Mughal expedition was sent against Rana Pratap after 1585. So here if you see, some internal conflicts happened. Okay, his half brother was creating problem in Punjab. Akbar had faced problem in Bengal and Bihar in the east. So many things were there, and so Akbar was focusing on that thing. So by 1585, the search for Rana Pratap was stopped. Okay, so that's what we told here. Now, taking advantage of this situation, Rana Pratap recovered many of his territories, including Kumbhalgarh and the areas near Chittor. Okay, so that is why it's successful. Okay, without any army, with Bill tribes alone, he with guerrilla warfare method, he captured some areas. Okay, near Chittor. During this period, he built a new capital, Chavand. Okay, earlier we saw Kumbhalgarh was the earlier capital, and now a new capital, okay, Chavand or something. So near modern Dangarpur. He died in 1597 at the young age of 51 due to an internal injury incurred by him while trying to draw a stiff bow. So here it's like something internal happened, not like a war or any battle. He died like a due to his own internal accident or whatever happened. Okay, so that is the full story of Rana Pratap. Now apart from Mewar, Akbar had to face opposition in Marwar as well. Following the death of Maldeo 1562, there was a dispute for succession between his sons. The younger son of Maldeo, Chandra, who was the son of the favorite queen of Maldeo, succeeded to the Gaddi. So it's another king, another story. Okay, due to the pressure of the Mughals, he had to give parts of his country in Jagir to his elder brothers. But Chandra did not like this arrangement, and after some time rose in rebellion. So this king, who actually came in matrimonial alliance with Akbar and all, after him, his son when he came, their internal conflict happened. Okay, this younger son Chandra with the elder brothers. Now Akbar took Marwar under direct Mughal administration. One reason being his desire to safeguard the Mughal supply route to Gujarat, which passed through Jodhpur. Okay, so that place was strategically important for him. Okay, because it was on the supply route to Gujarat. Okay, after its conquest, Akbar appointed Rai Singh Bikaneri to look after Jodhpur. Chandra resisted valiantly and waged a guerrilla warfare. But after some time, he had to seek refuge in Mewar. Even there, he was hunted from place to place by the Mughals. He died in 1581. So that story is also over. Just mentioning some stories. Okay, so it's like just for making a lengthy answer, you can add all these things, political history. Other than that, there is no much important thing. Okay, a couple of years later, Akbar conferred Jodhpur upon Uday Singh, the elder brother of Chandra Sen. Okay, to strengthen his position, Uday Singh married his daughter Jagat Kosen something. Okay, Jodhabai. So here it's actually Jodhabai. So, but in history, it keeps changing. Okay, different textbook you will see that was some other Bai, this is Jodha Bai, this time, but not at all important for us. Okay. So Akbar's eldest son Salim is also coming into picture here. Okay. Unlike the Dola form of earlier marriages, the bridegroom's party went to the Raja's house, and a number of Hindu practices were followed. This happened when Akbar was residing at Lahore. Okay, so because of this importance, maybe it was again made into a movie also. Okay. Akbar also had close personal relation with the ruler of Bikaner and Bundi, who served in various campaigns with distinction. In 1593, when the son-in-law of Rai Singh of Bikaner died due to a fall from the palki or pallak, okay, Akbar went personally to the Raja's house to console him and dissuaded his daughter from performing sati as a children. Also here, some other thing happened, and it's just showing Akbar's greatness kind of thing. Okay, he's going there and meeting this person, and then even stopping the wife from performing sati because children were young. So social policies, religious policies, all those things you can use this point. Okay, one example only. Now, Rajput policy of Akbar proved beneficial to the Mughal state as well as to the Rajputs. The alliance secured to the Mughal Empire the services of the bravest warriors in India. Okay, so that also is one important thing. You know, this Man Singh, Bhagwan Das, all these brave warriors. No, they are coming from the Rajput side. Now, the steadfast loyalty of the Rajputs became an important factor in the consolidation and expansion of the empire. The alliance ensured peace in Rajasthan and enabled the Rajputs to serve in far-flung areas of the empire without worrying about the safety of their homelands. By being enrolled into the imperial service, important positions in the empire was open to Rajput Rajas. Again, same point they are telling, okay. Thus, Bhagwan Das of Amber was appointed joint governor of Lahore, while his son Man Singh was placed in charge of Kabul. Okay, so they are getting places like Lahore, Kabul and all to govern. Later, Man Singh was appointed the governor of Bihar and Bengal. Other Rajput Rajas were placed in the charge of strategic provinces such as Agra, Ajmer, Gujarat at various times. As high grandees of the empire, they were granted Jagirs in addition to their hereditary kingdoms, thus augmenting their resources. Okay, this later you will see the reason for Akbar or the Mughal dynasty to collapse also was this thing. Okay, they gave that much Jagirs and wealth and all these things to these people that later they did not have enough money or resources to even split it. Okay, that is what will happen. So Akbar's Rajput policy was continued by his successors Jahangir and Shah Jahan. This also is a prelim statement which you can put. Okay, Akbar's Rajput policy was continued by both Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Jahangir, whose mother was a Rajput princess, had himself married a Kachwala princess as well as the Jodhpur princess. Princesses of the house of Jaisalmer and Bikaner were also married to him. So again, if you see, matrimonial lines continue, that's all. Now, Jahangir gave the highest honor to the rulers of all these houses. The main achievement of Jahangir, however, was a settlement of the outstanding dispute between Mewar. Okay, so with Mewar, you know, there are a lot of issues. They were not coming under this, so Jahangir could solve it. Now, Rana Pratap had been succeeded by his son Amar Singh. Akbar had sent a series of expeditions against Amar Singh in order to force him to accept the conditions. Okay, so same like Jahangir came, that side Amar Singh will come. Okay, now Jahangir himself was sent against him twice, but could achieve little. After his accession in 1605, Jahangir took up the matter energetically. 3 successive campaigns were launched, but they could not break the Rana's will. In 1613, you know, by this time Britishers also will come. Okay, that's a different story, but still. In 1613, Jahangir himself reached Ajmer to direct the campaign. Prince Khurram is actually Shah Jahan, okay, was deputed with a large army to invade the mountainous parts of Mewar. The heavy pressure of the Mughal army, the depopulation of the country and the ruination of agriculture at last produced their effect. So finally, after a lot of campaigns and all, Jahangir could capture Mewar. Okay, many Sardars defected to the Mughals. The other pressed the Rana for peace. Okay, so again, internal thing, people are helping each other, people are betraying each other. Something happened, and finally the result is they got the place. Okay, now the Rana's son Karan Singh, who was deputed to proceed to Jahangir's court, was graciously received. Okay, so they treated the opponent well. Now Jahangir got up from the throne, embraced him in Darbar and loaded him with gift. To save the Rana's prestige, Jahangir did not insist upon the Ranas paying personal homage to him and entering the royal service. Prince Karan was accorded the rank of 5,000. So see, that also is a huge rank, okay, which had been earlier accorded to the rulers of Jodhpur, Bikaner and Amber. He was to serve the Mughal emperor with a contingent of 1,500 Savars. All the territories of Mewar, including Chittor, were restored. But in view of the strategic importance of Chittor, it was stipulated that its fortification could not be repaired. Thus, Jahangir completed the task begun by Akbar and further strengthened the alliance with the Rajputs. Okay, so this is the whole story. I think we'll stop it here, else it will become more lengthy, because next video, I think it will have, now is the page number 41, right? I think up to 48 or something this chapter is there. So that 7 pages we'll do it in the next video. Okay, that will be again like the conclusion of a few more expansion policies of the Mughal Empire. Okay, including like Akbar's some policies. So that we'll see in the next chapter. Meanwhile, you can all watch other videos as well, because I see some people are only watching history, okay, or the history audience are not watching other things, or the polity audience are not watching any other chapter. If you are a serious UPSC aspirant, please watch all the playlists, because every playlist is designed for UPSC. Okay, there is nothing like junk video or nothing which is not useful to you. Okay, different textbooks are being covered, different subjects are being covered, NCERT as a whole is covered. But if you see the view of geography videos and all are like very less, it's less than even 100. Okay, while spectrum videos are like more than 2,000, 3,000, or even there are I think 7,000 views and all for some certain lectures of spectrum. Okay, so we have the audience, but they are like restricted to different playlists. So please watch everything if you are a very serious aspirant. And also test series is open for you. You can enroll to whichever stage you are, prelim stage or mains test series 2018 or mains test series in 2019. Everything is open for you. So please watch everything before you ask the query. Okay, because I see under history video comment will come like please start polity, please start geography. But you should realize that already things are started and things are in progress. So please watch all the other videos as well. Okay, so I'll come up with the next video soon. Give your feedback. Thank you and have a nice day.